So let's get straight into it. Can you give us a little background about yourself? Tell us, your music name and where you're from and things like that.
I'm Snaxxx with three X's. I'm from Indianapolis. I started DJing about 3 years ago. Um, in my basement, actually, was the first time I ever played. I just got really, really interested in seeing my friends do it, and I'm a really outgoing person, so I thought I could do that. And I actually practiced for a couple hours for the first time, and like I said, played in my basement. And then a week later, I had my first show.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Who is some of the artists that inspires you to want to DJ?
So Skrillex is always gonna be my number one. He's the first person that I ever like listened to when I was like 18 years old. Um, but like I'd say Excision is probably like the biggest person that I look up to, definitely. It's a huge goal, but like someday I would love to be like a female Excision.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember like back when dubstep was making its rise, like when he came out with Swagger, like hearing that for the first time, and like the him and Datsik was kind of like the first people that I heard of making like that style of music, and now it's just kind of a standard for dubstep artists to like you gotta try to sound like him a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
watching you know where he's come from like doing that to having like Lost Lands and all that stuff is amazing to see
It's
what he's done.
really cool to see somebody who started like from where I'm starting to now be like pretty much the base god of the community. So
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any local influences? Do you feel like your scene in Indianapolis influences your style at all?
um so our scene is pretty small here. I definitely think that I do my own thing. But I do have like some close friends. Like Barrett, his name is Uppers, and Darshan goes by Kairu. Those are probably two of my favorite like heavy hitting bass DJs in the scene, and they're also very close friends. So I definitely look up to them.
Right on. What type of DAW do you use?
So I just started and I'm using Ableton.
Able.
So I haven't done much producing yet, but that is my next step because I started as a DJ first.
Right.
So that is the next goal. But yeah, I did just get Ableton the other day, and I've got some classes to take and stuff. So I'm really excited to make my own music.
Right on, man. What's your do you have a favorite venue to play in?
Yeah, it's called Scully's and it's in Columbus, Columbus, Ohio. That's where I play my biggest shows. I opened for 12th Planet and Kaiwachi there.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a cool venue. It's so hot in there. It's ridiculous. I had girls fanning me in the front row while I was playing because I was just drenched in sweat. But it's like two levels. You can fit like a lot of people in there. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. Do you feel like, moving forward, is there any like festival or certain venue that is like your dream spot to play?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. It's Lost Lands.
Lost.
I have gone since year one. I've been every year. And honestly, the more times I went, weirdly, it made me sad that I was there because I felt like I should be at home, like making music and trying to get on that lineup because I just love it so much. It's such a great community of people. Like, the crowd's super friendly and all the artists are on the lineup are always great. And I would just love to be up there, play my music for the people and the dinosaurs.
Right on. Yeah, man. Lost Lands is a place that I like something happens every year that I don't make it out to it. I love dubstep and everything. I haven't got around to making Lost Lands yet.
You gotta go. It's like my favorite festival I've ever been to. Just going, like it's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
You know, they had, I don't know if they're you know, if it has like the whole dinosaur theme and stuff still, but I've heard from a lot of people that Base Canyon was pretty cool too. It's kind of,
Yeah, that's Excision's other festival thing, that weekend thing. I have not been, but it's like on a mountain
yeah,
and
it's in the Gorge Amphitheater. I've been to that venue before and it's amazing venue. Like it is so cool, but I've never been to the Base Canyon one.
yeah, that would definitely be a bucket list thing.
Do you feel like you know, being like an Excision fan and stuff like that, you feel like you'll ever make it out to Shambhala?
That would be super cool. I did talk about going to that a couple years ago. I have not been to Canada yet. But that would definitely be a trip. That'd be
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, I like the stage, like that, the way the setup is with the stage, how it kind of like goes through the trees, and
Hmm.
it just looks like an amazing time.
That would be super neat. Yeah.
So did you know, with COVID happening this year, kind of change a lot of plans and change people's lives this year. Do you feel like, you know, you were able to make some growth with your music career even though like COVID happened, or did it really set you back?
It honestly did set me back a little bit. I got pretty depressed about it. I mean, right before the COVID restrictions hit, like I was like set to open for Black Tiger Sex Machine in Indianapolis. It was gonna be my biggest show. I was really excited, and then yeah, I just kind of went into that COVID depression like everybody else did, which now looking back at it, I really wish I would have spent my time working on music. But, you know, it hit everybody really hard. And I think we all just had to do our own thing and just kind of work through it, you know. So, but now's the time that I'm going to start working on music and I'm finally there. So,
Yeah. I seen you know, because I lived in Indianapolis, and my grandma's from there. I was born there and stuff. So I follow some, I have a few friends there and some of the venues and stuff. I seen that there's like shows happening there, right?
mm-hmm. Yes.
Have you got to play any like anytime soon?
I did play a show at Wub's Day. So I'm like a resident DJ at Wub's Day. They have been trying to bring it back. So like I played that about a month ago, I believe. But like they've been having shows at the Mousetrap too, like outside, which is really nice. I do have an upcoming one in December, which is in Elkhart, Indiana. But it's just been so difficult, you know, with all like the COVID restrictions and everything. And it's just really scary because, like, especially because our numbers have spiked and stuff.
Yeah. What was it like playing you know, as far as like the crowd interaction and stuff like that?
Well, like everybody's wearing masks, which is good. Like they're doing temperature checks in the door and stuff, which is always safe. They kind of had to put like tables in there and stuff for like the regulations, but you know, for the most part, everybody was being safe and like keeping their distance, and
Yeah.
so it was fine.
Well, as a, how did it affect you personally? Because as like a dubstep DJ, isn't that kind of, you know, like you want everybody to be safe because of COVID, but like when things are normal, it's not, you know, like everybody's touching each other and like
Right.
it's you know, like what was
Yeah.
the interaction with you like?
It was still great. Like I have a lot of like I guess fans here, and, you know, all over. But like at the show, like people were still headbanging, getting down to the music. Like just because you know we had a social distance didn't stop people from you know letting loose and being themselves. So
Oh yeah. Do you have any like, do you have any mixes or any, you know, live streams that you got coming up?
I do. There's actually going to be a live stream coming soon. I can't say too much detail because it hasn't been announced yet. But it's going to be helping our local homeless people in Indianapolis.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but we will be like pre-recording the stream, so that will be coming soon. And then I did do a live stream recently that was on Twitch. It's under Breakfast Club is his name, and I did that in Columbus a couple weeks ago.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, especially the one that's to help the homeless. And anytime you have like a live stream or make something to promote, just give us a heads up when you can, and I'll reshare it and post it as well. Try to
Yeah,
get as many people, to come and watch as we can. And
yeah, awesome. Yeah, I would love to post that one because the one for the homeless people, we have a lot of homeless people in Indianapolis, and it'd just be great, to help them out. So it's for a good cause. So I definitely love to share it.
yeah, for sure. I live in Miami now, so I don't get too worried about the homeless people. It's rough life, and I don't wish that on anybody, but I know they're never gonna freeze, like
Right.
they're gonna be all right. Like, so in places like Indianapolis, Chicago, New York, I feel like so much more of an obligation that we need to help these people regardless. People have so many different opinions, but regardless if they made decisions to get themselves in that point, like we need to get them coats, we need to get them like a way to stay warm, like some type of something, like that
Or
can't
shelters or something. So
shelters, anything to. Yeah, for sure. So I'm really like thankful that there's people like you and stuff trying to do something about it.
Yep. I was reached out to by a friend that's been organizing this whole thing, and they've got like I think 20 of our local indie DJs that they've got going on it. So it's going to be a really cool stream.
Oh, that'd be awesome. And yeah, tell us a little bit about your merch. I know you just released it. I had to get the like red one when
Hmm.
I seen it because I never really seen anybody like use that color scheme for tie dye. Like it's very kind of kind of abnormal. I really like the color scheme of the red and yellow black that you had. And
I'm actually wearing merch right now. It's my
nice.
Halloween one. So I worked with a local friend named Alex Egan. And he did all the shirts for me. This one that I'm wearing is actually like 100% handmade by him. Like he did the
Oh,
tie
wow.
dye and like the logo and everything. So I just wanted to make sure I got a really good product, and he did a really awesome job.
Nice. And do you I know I seen on your Instagram you have like some other ones from the past. Do you still have that? Are you just promoting these shirts right now? Or do you
I
have other merch?
sold out of all my other merch. So like I
Oh,
did pins for the first time, and then I did some other shirts and stuff. But yeah, these ones are the only ones that I have right now. But I'm hoping maybe sometime in like later December, January, I'm probably gonna do some sweatshirts.
yeah, right on.
But really, like I like doing merch a lot, but like I said, like my biggest focus right now is I really want to get my own original music out.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was talking to somebody that was telling me that when they was first getting started, that the something they wish that they would have caught on sooner is when you're trying to make your own music, you can um like kind of box yourself in because you're like trying to learn, but and so you don't know like, oh, I think this sounds good but maybe it's not. So he was saying that like I wish I would have just like collaborated and reached out to people and asked for help. And I feel like it's kind of rough on you getting started where we're in this COVID thing, kind
Yeah.
of just isolated to figure it out on your own. So
Well, I mean, if anything, it's kind of the perfect time also to reach out to people because people are still staying home.
yeah,
So I can do a lot of Zoom calls or FaceTimes and stuff. And I was just talking about this last night. Like, I wish, I guess, that I could learn it all on my own because I like to learn things by myself, I guess. But I know that this is such a big thing and there's so many things that go into it that I'm definitely going to have to reach out for help, which
yeah,
is totally fine because there's like a ton of people that I'd love to collab with.
right on. Yeah, I mean, there's a million and one things to learn when it comes to music production. I feel like, you'll never not know it all. I mean,
Right?
I
There's so many buttons and stuff to click on and things you can put in there. It's ridiculous.
I- just finding what you're most comfortable with that you personally like is like the main thing. But as far as like, you can always get better. You can always learn something new. There's always a new plugin. There's always new VSTs. There's always new everything coming out. And that's something that I personally love about music production is just there's so much. It's a never ending like fountain of knowledge, so to speak, I guess.
Right. Yeah. And you can always make something new.
Yeah. So I'm excited for you. I especially already being a DJ, you're gonna love it. You're
I'm so
gonna,
excited. I think the feeling like I love when I play for a crowd and like I'll get that crowd reaction into like a nasty drop I've done or something, or like my song selection because I'm super picky on song selection. So
yeah,
it's gonna be an even cooler feeling when I get that crowd reaction to like my own song that I've made.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Some Something that's really cool too is, like, and sometimes you could get carried away with it and have like hours go by just perfecting that like a sound. It's like you haven't even made the song yet, but you've like created this great sound. Like the sound
Yeah.
design for dubstep is so much fun for sure.
Yeah, I've definitely been like a little bit of a recluse during COVID, but I know as soon as I get sucked into Ableton, like nobody's gonna see me for a while because I'm just gonna be here right after work every day.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So you've been DJing, you said, for three years, right?
A little over, I think it'll have been 4 years in April of next year.
Nice.
Yes.
So anybody, wanting to get into DJing, what would be some advice that you would give somebody for starting?
Let's see. Don't care what anyone else thinks. Seriously,
Yeah.
just don't. Like, do your own thing, learn your own way, play what you want to play. You know, if you really want to put yourself out there, like the way that I grew so fast and played so many shows with social media, it's literally a free tool for you to reach out to anyone, like add other DJs, other promoters, especially producers, all on your Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Um, and then you'll see a lot of people posting like, hey, I'm looking for a DJ for this show, or I'm looking for a collab on this song, that kind of thing. And the more you put your name out there, like the more people are going to see it, which is how you make connections.
Yeah, right on. And if you don't mind me asking this, I would really like your opinion on how do you feel like being a woman affects the music business? Like, how do you feel like that it affects you in a good way or a bad way, I guess?
I don't think it's affected me personally in a negative way yet, or, it could happen. I've definitely seen it happen to other women in the scene. But if anything, I think that more and more female DJs and producers are coming out and like killing it right now. So I think that we're on the rise. And I think that it's a great thing. And I hate the separation of like male and female DJs, like
Yeah.
we should all just be one. But like I am all for like more of us coming out there for sure.
Yeah. I feel like there's like one friend of mine specifically that I have in mind that she went to school for audio engineering and is a genius with Ableton and production and stuff like that. And I've been like went to the studio with her before, and people like just assume that she's like just there, like she's somebody's girlfriend or something in the room. And she's the smartest one out of all of us there. Like she's by far the better one out of everybody.
That's
And yeah, and so I just like because knowing her, like I feel like I've seen it firsthand myself of like, just because she's a decent looking woman, people categorize her before she ever like get to do anything. And so I like to ask other, lady DJs and producers how that impacts their life because I've seen it be like,
I've seen it too. It's definitely a thing. I mean, if you're an attractive female, some jerks are going to be like, oh, that's probably how she got on that show or whatever because of her looks. Like, it happens all the time. And it's absolutely ridiculous.
yeah,
Like,
for
those
sure.
people are talented and, like, I don't know. I hate that.
Yeah. In a weird way, I kind of I kind of like it when it happens and then the woman's like better than everybody because it's like an extra like you stupid idiot like
So like I said, Columbus is my favorite place to play. And at a different venue I played before I ever played Scully's. And it was like my first headlining show. And after that show, there was like an after show somewhere. And the guy who booked me was like, you should go to this place and check them out and like told them I sent you and like see if they'll let you play. And so I went in there and like I walked up and I was like, hey, I'm Snaxxx. Like I'm here to play for the after party. And like we've even talked about it to this day. They were like, who? And it was all guys. And they
yeah,
were like, who is this chick? Like, who does she think she is? Like, kind
yeah,
of thing. And then I got up there and played. And immediately they were all like, holy shit, like you are so awesome. And like now we're super close friends.
that's
So,
awesome.
don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, for sure, that's awesome. But yeah, and do you feel like there's any advice you would give to like women trying to be in the business, specifically?
You know, just because we're female doesn't mean we can't do whatever the hell we want. I
Uh,
mean, seriously, like you really can pursue and achieve any dream that you put your mind to. I mean, just because, I mean, it is pretty much a male dominant world in the EDM realm,
yeah,
but I don't know why. I mean, I feel like as women, we have all the capabilities to do the same things that they're doing. So I just think that if a chick wants to go out and do that, like more power to you. Like I said in the beginning, like I literally started in my basement and I worked my ass off until I played with some of the biggest names in the game. And I haven't even made my own music yet.
yeah.
So my advice would be just don't give up and just put your mind to it.
Oh yeah, man. That's great advice. Do you, I got so I got one more question for you that doesn't really have much to do with music. What in your life do you feel like you're most grateful for?
Um, Probably my family.
Yeah.
I got really lucky. I mean, we have our issues, everybody does, but I grew up with, pretty awesome, loving parents and really cool sisters, and now a really awesome nephew. So they are definitely there for me 100% no matter what. So
Right
thank you.
on. That's awesome, man. It's good to have it's good to have people in your corner, you know.
Yeah, my mom's like always on her Facebook with all of her Facebook friends that probably don't even know what EDM is, but she's always like, here's my girl Snaxxx. Like she's playing a Snaxxx show tonight. Like check her out. Or my dad will like wear his Snaxxx merch and stuff all the time. Like he showed up at the Mousetrap for one of my shows and surprised me, and that was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I went to a like a metal show one time, and like I don't know if you know that type of music, but there's a band Falling in Reverse,
Mhm.
and I seen like I'm not sure exactly like who they were, but they definitely like knew the band because they like were hugging like everybody and stuff. But there was like these 80-year-old like 80-year-old couple. They look like they could have been somebody's grandparents, you know?
Probably. Yeah,
And they was just sitting there like loving
that is
it, man.
so awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's what happened with my dad. I had like he had seen me DJ. Well, he never seen me DJ before, and I was driving back with him from somewhere, and I was like, "Dad, let me play you one of my mixes." And he never listened to anything, and I
Yeah.
had it on 5 minutes, and he's like, "If I have to listen to this for like another 5 minutes, I'm gonna like jump out of the car." And he was dead serious, and that's why I was so surprised that the next day like I came to my show and he was there and I was like, what are you doing here? But he was just headbanging in the crowd the whole time. He's like, you rock the house. That was awesome. So
Yeah. I
yeah.
think, dubstep for me is definitely uh a lot better in the club live than
Mhm.
just riding in the car. If you like it, definitely. Like I do like to listen to it in the car from time to time, but I'm just trying to put myself in your dad's shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's like a way older guy. But yeah, for people who've never heard it before, I've definitely my one of my best friends. I tried playing Excision for them back when I was first getting into it in the car, and I'm like getting down, and they were like, okay, I'm gonna pick the next song. But like now they're at like all my shows and stuff and like they love it. So
Yeah, that's awesome. It's nice to see the rise of dubstep. I remember being, the person in the car where everybody's like, "What the heck is this?" And now a lot of those people, like I see them at more shows than myself, you know?
right, you're like, I did that for you. I should.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you something that I almost forgot. Do you feel like especially now you're getting into Ableton, do you feel like you'll uh venture out of the dubstep world and try different music, or you just stay in dubstep? Or
um, I don't know. So something that I do when I play shows, I like to play like a dubstep song, and then at the drop, I like to drop it into some weird, nasty, like Wakan sounding type wubs.
mm,
So I guess I could see myself making like some weird kind of bass, maybe.
yeah.
But I definitely think dubstep has my heart. I actually was supposed to be a house DJ before I decided on dubstep. So I have been thinking about doing streams like called the House of Snaxxx
Oh, that'd be cool.
and doing that because I played house music during some of my dubstep sets and people love it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I'd probably dabble in making some house music maybe here and there.
No, we got no pop trap music coming from
No, probably not. I mean, if somebody wanted to collab on something and teach me, I'd definitely be down to learn because, it's always good to educate yourself on how to do those things. But
Yeah. Right on. Well, the House of Snacks sounds like a great idea.
yeah, it's like the House of Wax, but the
Yeah,
House
that's
of
what I was thinking. And you know, I feel like house is such a universal sound that it just will open up a lot more opportunities for you, that not that you don't have opportunities with the
right.
dubstep, but it's just, you can, typically you're not going to get asked to fly out to Ibiza to play dubstep, you know?
Right. I really like what Dylan Francis does, how he has DJ Hansel is
Mm.
like his alter ego, which he's just ridiculous. But that's like his alter ego. It's like a Russian guy, which I probably wouldn't talk in an accent, but like that's his like house thing. And I don't really want to change my name just because they get confusing. So that's just why I went with like the House of Snaxxx. But I would so be down to, go play like a house music festival because I love that stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool for sure. Well, that's about all I have for you. I really appreciate you sitting down and taking the time to do the interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Stay in touch. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
Yep, peace.
Bye.